Good morning, everyone. It's Janet Wakeland with Remarkably Created, and we're here to open door number 6, halfway through the 12 doors of this amazing Crafters Advent box. So, quick review, the box actually comes with 13 gifts, the 12 that are behind doors inside the Advent box, and then this stamp set. All of the items are designed to coordinate together for a really pretty cohesive look. Think about Stampin' Up suites or suite of products. But of course, because they're Stampin' Up products, they're going to mix and match with so much Stampin' Up on your shelves, as well as other craft supplies that you might have. So you're going to have the 12 Days of Christmas. We've opened that so far. We opened the door that exposed the dies. 2 of the dies cut the big flowers from the Advent. Then we had our designer paper. You have 20 beautiful sheets of 6x6 paper. I did list the suggested coordinating colors for you. Then we had some amazing embellishments, gold foil labels and ephemera. And then yesterday we opened our mask, okay? So let's set these aside. I'm gonna put the mask aside because we're gonna play with those. And let's get to our box. It was from the mask. And let's find door number 6. And let's open this up and see what's here. I am not pre-opening these behind the scenes. I am opening, oh my God, these are so cute. I am opening them live with you. I have not seen them. I have not done any sneak peeks. Oh my gosh, let's open these. They are adorable. They're fun. I love embellishments. And when they're self-adhesive, so much the better. They are a little squishy, a little foamy. Look at the fun colors. You're going to have cupcakes and rainbows and cherries and bows and strawberries and little flowers. You've got some great sheets of embellishments here to work with. So those will show up in tomorrow's samples. But let's set the box aside and hold on tight, do something I don't like to do. But I'm going to walk away. You'll hear my voice in a vacuum. Sorry about that. I forgot to bring the 2 samples to the table that I created. So really soft, subtle kind of foliage card using the stencils, and then pulling in the flowers, picking out some colors that give kind of a fall look, but not being a fall card when we're sending some thinking of you messages. So let's talk just a little bit about the stencils and stencils in general for just a few seconds. Just give you a few little tips as I've been doing every day. So when I open a new door, during that video, I showcase a few samples and some tips using the previous day's product. Hence, while we're looking at the mask. First, the masks are 4x4 inches. And they are numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, so you can have an idea of how to overlap them, okay? I did take a Sharpie marker and go over the numbers because tone on tone with my older eyes and lighting in my studio doesn't always work for me. So I did darken them up a little bit with a Sharpie. So when you work with stencils, you have different options. You can use blending brushes. You can use Stampin' Up daubers. You can use spritzers to spritz the ink on. You can also simply use markers. You could use blends. Now, if you're going to use blends, they are going to start to really stain your stencils, okay? But basically, you can use all kinds of things to color through the openings. My personal favorites are to use the blending brushes, and specifically the small ones, because I can get right up on the tip, and I can also get a nice soft look with them. So I really like those. When working with any of them, okay, if I want to isolate something, so say I only want this flower, for example, and I don't want the ink to go anywhere else, you have a couple of different options. You can take and cover kind of like that area, like I don't want that, with painter's tape, with washi tape, so you could put something over that opening. You can simply just lay a piece of cardstock down, scrap cardstock over the openings that you don't want. Maybe I don't want anything to extend below this level of the card, so I'm going to slip it under. So you're going to be able to kind of use a piece of scrap paper to act as a shield and block where you don't want the ink. The other thing is, if you're worried about your stencil sliding, painter's tape, post-it note, or even if you've got some old washi tape, is great for holding it in place. So let's just do a little bit here, just to kind of show you a couple of ideas. So I'm just working with Strawberry Slush and Melon Mambo, and just going to do the larger flowers. And in this case, I'm also going to do the smaller flowers the same color. Now notice I'm just kind of picking it up on its tip just to stay out of this area right here. I'm not going to use that one. And that's the other thing about these stencils, is there's multiple images on each one of them. You don't have to use the stencil as a whole. You can pick one single flower out, which is why I talked to you a little bit about isolating with cardstock and tape in the beginning. Go over it as many times as you want to get the look that you're going for. I'm going to lift this up. And if you're worried about it coming back, I can put a little mark here so I know that's about where the V was. And so now I can bring in the second one. And let's go our Melon Mambo. And now I'm going to go over top of that. And that's going to give me basically like two-step stamping. Now I'm going to have the veining on the flowers that you see here, okay? And the notches do help you line it up a little bit, but I will tell you, and you'll see here, I'll use the second set of stencils as an example to show you. Trust your eyes. You're also going to be able to do a really pretty look just with your eyes, guys. You don't always have to have little notches or, you know, like a whole like little laser cross beams and all of that kind of crazy stuff to help you line stuff up. So I have Old Olive and Mossy Meadow, and I'm going to just grab the big leaf here, and I'm just going to place the leaf where I want it, okay? Not necessarily maybe where the stencil was going to dictate that it might end up being, okay? And it's also okay to go off your card. You don't always have to stay right on your card. And so I like just kind of putting leaves where I want the leaves to be, okay? Not necessarily where the stencil dictates it. And pick that up, we'll set that aside. And then our fourth one, let's bring in our other. Now I'm using one blending brush per color. You could easily swish this off, like even on your glass mat until it's clean, or on a paper towel or on a scrap piece of paper, grid paper, till it's clean. And then pick up your next color. You do not need to own one, say the word, Janet. One blending brush, sorry, I'm multitasking. One blending brush per color. It's a nice splurge, but you don't need to do that, okay? So I'm gonna just add that color, bringing my stencil in and putting them the way that I want them to be, and just kind of working with them, okay? So you can pick and choose the little stencil elements to be what you want them to be on your card, okay? So stencil it the way that you want it to, based on how you feel about it. In addition, you don't always need to do the layering, okay? In this case, I wanted this card really, really soft. So I just used the base layer. And if I twist this in the light, you may catch the wink of Stella that I used over top of the leaves, giving it a little bit of kind of a snow feel to it. And I left the greeting off. I wanted this softness to convey the soft message that I'm going to add to the inside of this card. It's actually going to be a sympathy card, but I don't need to say with sympathy on the front of it. Sometimes the front of your card doesn't need to say anything at all. Just let the image speak. But again, you're not required to label your stencil, guys, okay? You don't have to. The other thing about your stencils is stencil over your stencils. Here I did, can you see the other colors? I overlapped them, okay? Creating my own look of designer paper. And you don't have to use your stencils on cardstock. In this case, this is some of the designer paper from the Advent box, giving just a little bit more texture to the back of it. Again, a label from the box, as well as some of the embellishments for the box. So stencils are a lot of fun. One last tip for them: when you're working, you can easily just have your wet chamois handy and wipe them clean so that you can keep working. Take them to the sink and rinse them off, whatever works for you, but they are plastic. The only thing that's really gonna stain them really bad and you're not gonna get the ink off is if you decide to work with blends. That doesn't hurt future images for it. It just ends up making your stencil look, you know, stained. That's it. But it doesn't affect its performance, if that makes sense. So have fun playing around with the stencils in your box when you get them. And I'll see you back here tomorrow as we open door number 7. Thanks, guys.